Okay, so the reason that that song was on is really who is going to save your soul. Did you see the report in today's Republican American? Medicaid scam busted. This is not just a one-off. This is unfortunately an epidemic. I am going to have my friend Dawn McCary at the Western Connecticut Area Agency on Aging on in a few weeks to talk at length about fraud. But it really is happening. You've got hard-working licensed clinical social workers like my buddy Bob over up in the town plot area who worked his fingers to the bone, who would never perform such an act. And these people are now indicted. And I remember reading in the paper when the building was raided. This is so sad to think that not only are you being scammed, you're being scammed on everything. The front cover, and really who is going to save your soul, is talking about wines, how they mislabel the ratings. It was a different year. And then unfortunately the gentleman's backpedaling. I'm not going to pick on any liquor stores, but there's so much fraud out there that you have to really wonder. They're not worried about their souls. Nobody is caring anymore about the people. And that's really what my message is. You have a client of mine, and I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let the claims genius guru tell it, because she deals with it on a daily basis. And that, oh, it was my billing department. Oh, it was this. So really listen to this, this scenario. And please make sure you look at every explanation of benefits. Look at your EOBs. Make sure you pay attention. This is fraud at its finest with this Medicaid. Medicaid is a program funded by your and my hard-earned tax dollars. I am so sick of seeing somebody get Husky for free. I got yelled at by a client. I'm not going to say any names, but it was a woman in her 30s, and she had a job, and somehow she finagled the system to say my job didn't offer. She makes dresses for quite a big bridal company, and the first word could maybe be Dave. So anyway, she makes dresses. I can hear her sewing while she's talking about, oh, I just got off the Husky. Well, the Malloy administration did just downgrade the income limits, so a lot of people are losing Husky. But why should someone be allowed to just have free insurance? She has a job, her husband has a job. I'm paying for that. You're paying for that with your hard-earned tax dollars. You seniors out there that are on a fixed income, you can't afford any more hits. So every time someone gets free Husky, free this, free that, it just is another notch, a chink in our armor. And then you have a hard-working person like my client that Lisa's going to explain about, and it's called balanced billing. Take it away, my friend.
Hello, Michael, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So the reason I'm having you explain it is because I talk a little too much, and everyone's like, oh, you know, that guy knows everything. But I don't know everything. You are smarter with the claims than I am, and you are good at it. So explain the scenario. Don't discuss the monetary value, how much it was, but explain that it really does happen.
Okay, so what happened was our client had a MedSup, which a lot of people out there do have, and he also was eligible for the QNB, which is the Medicare Savings Program. And so when you have a MedSup, you go to your doctor's office, you go to your blood lab, you go any medical facility that you go to, you have to give your Medicare card as your primary insurance. And then your supplement card would be your secondary insurance. What was happening to this gentleman in particular, and it's been happening more frequently, is the doctor's office does not wait until they get their money from the secondary insurance. So they're getting paid from Medicare and then balance billing their clients, which is illegal, first of all, because once they get payment from Medicare, it needs to automatically go to the secondary med supplement plan, and a lot of people are being forced to pay that amount rather than it being sent to their supplement plan, which, again, it's illegal. And so you have to be really careful when they give you a bill and say, okay, you need to pay this amount. You really have to have them explain it to you in detail.
Yep.
Make sure both of your insurances have been billed. And even if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you still should make them explain it in detail before you take any money out of your pocket. Because once the money comes out, it is very difficult and they're on their own time schedule how they're going to reimburse you. So before you pay any bills, make sure you have either the people that are sending you the bill, or you could call us. I'll explain it to you as long as I could see it, what you received. But I would definitely make sure your insurance companies are being billed accordingly and that you're not just paying all this money out of your pocket because, like I said, it takes a lot longer to get it back for you.
Well put. All right, so please, we're out there looking out for you, the consumer. I know this show is a bit boring, but I'm getting such positive feedback by people that, hey, if you're not talking about it, nobody's going to talk about it. And we really learn a lot. I can't knock it out of the park like I did last time with my guest from Social Security. I mean, that was just phenomenal. So sometimes it has to be a normal show. All right? The Jewel song that I put is because there's just really no moral compass these days. They have a tendency, and we say it all the time in the office, we should get a consulting license. We do so much for the client for free that sometimes it does get costly and time consuming. There could be ways we could fraud the client so easily. It's just not in my DNA to do it. And to tell you the truth, it's wrong. And that's what really the song said was, you know, if you are doing something wrong and you know it's wrong, how can you live with yourself? And this Medicaid scam that got busted, I know exactly what happened. I can read the lines so beautifully. They CPT coded, current procedural terminology, that a patient came in for care with a Medicaid card, which is a Silver Connect card. A Silver Connect card is being reimbursed by the state Medicaid fund. They falsely billed for therapy and collected payments for claims and clients they didn't even see. $1.6 million out the door. It is going to be virtually impossible to get the money back. So you have to ask yourself, when you are on Medicaid and you are a client that needs help from the state, am I legitimately worthy of this Medicaid? And if you are like one of my very good friends who I care about quite a bit, and he's a great listener, that type of client, the one that I actually went to his apartment, is a true Medicaid person. Not someone who drives a Mercedes-Benz or a Land Rover to my office, qualifies for Medicaid, somehow fraudulently, does nothing but cash work under the table, and I'm paying I don't even know how much in taxes. It's ridiculous. So if you are doing something fraudulent or you know someone who is doing something fraudulent, speak up. There is a fraud hotline. You can always call the Office of the Healthcare Advocate. You can always call the Attorney General. You can always call, don't call my office. I am not a fraud watchdog, but it is something that I'm seeing so much. This balance billing, what Lisa tried to explain to you, and I'm sure she went a little quick, that hopefully you got it. When you go to a doctor or you go to a facility and you get a bill and you are supposed to have just a copay or a copay percentage. One, there's new sneaky bills called facility fees being put into place. Producer Tom telling me, dude, you're talking so much, we need to take a commercial break. All right, I got your memo. I'll be back in a couple minutes and we'll continue with this.